Alright guys, so this is the EcoFlow Wave 2, and I also did pick up the external battery. I have a ton of EcoFlow products and I've been super happy with everything that I've had by them. So I really wanted to test this out and show you guys kind of what this is, because I did a video about a year ago on the EcoFlow Wave 1. You guys seem to really like that one. So now I wanted to show you guys what the EcoFlow Wave 2 has in store. So you'll see here, this is the shroud that goes on the unit. These are the ducts so that you can pull in air or out air, heat, and also a little drain right here if you're in super humid areas. Here's the unit itself. Let me go ahead and get that out of the way. I thought this was really cool. It was a little like DIY kind of window thing. Here's the battery pack here, and that is 1,159 watts. But with a cable, you can actually run this off of any of your other EcoFlow products. I have the Delta Max 2, the River, and they actually have a higher output than the additional battery that you can buy for this. Alright guys, so I have had this for a few weeks now, but I want to show you guys how this works. Let's get into it. So on the bottom here you have your power bank. Down here, this is an option. I did go with that on my last EcoFlow Wave, and I think that's the best way to run this. On the front here, this is where all of your heat or AC is going to vent out. So up top here is where you're going to connect this piece, and then you'll have your vent come out of here. On the back here is where you attach this. Although if I'm going to be putting this inside my tent or in my car, I don't really need the back part. I just need this to vent out. So really probably all I'll bring with me is this, the actual vent for it, and the unit itself. Now, the reason I would say I wouldn't use this is because let's say we have this in a warm car that we're trying to cool down, then it would actually work less hard to be sucking in cooler air than it would be sucking in the air from outside. Now you'll also have this in the back that you can bring with you. I never needed this on my old one, so I would probably just bring it for emergencies. But on the back here, because this is an AC, and ACs do tend to suck the moisture out, I would bring this just in case, but I've never had any condensation really build up in a way that's, leaked or anything like that. So I will bring this for emergencies, but I've not found it to be something that I absolutely need. So then the last one is going to be this. So I will bring this up here and the unit. That way I can put this inside my tent. And just like that, it is attached. And then you can vent this out wherever you want it to go, outside of your tent, outside of your car, outside of your window. Yeah, and that should be pretty easy. Alright, so this is essentially the unit right here. We've got the vents up top. This is going to be your display. I'll show you more of that later. It's got heat and AC on it. This is your battery pack down here. This attaches down at the very base of it. It is nice to be able to use this instead of having to bring an entire power bank with you for this. Up top is where your exhaust is going to come out. And yeah, I really like this design. It's a lot smaller than the last one. This is the last one here. The size difference is pretty astonishing, especially since this one has more BTUs and also has heat as well as AC on it. So this is a size comparison of the old one to the new one. It is much more compact, fits in tighter spaces, and just seems like an all-around better unit. Obviously, EcoFlow is continuously making improvements, so while this is still a really great unit, if you can find this used, I would recommend getting it. I do really like it, but this is just so much better in every single way. Alright, so I want to show you guys how the buttons work. This one right here is going to control the fan speed. Obviously, the higher the fan, the more energy it's going to take. You'll control the temperature here, and on this one you can do max, sleep, or eco mode. So you can really customize your experience with this AC or heater, whichever way you want to look at it. And you can really just set it to exactly how you want the fan speed to be and the temperature, and then you'll just press and turn it off here. Also with this button right here is how you will change it from heater to AC and back. Alright, so I've been running the heater to try to get it as hot as possible in here. Gonna switch over to this to test. 98, 106, what does that say? 108. Now down here, a little cooler, 100, 100, 97. We're getting AC out of here. Turn it to max AC. And we have the vent going out of there. Some people like to have this unit outside and have the AC coming in. That's just not how I want to do it. This is how I would do it. From 308, how cool we can get it in here. I went ahead and turned it off because it was actually getting kind of cold in here. We're at 47 on there. In the corner here, we're in the 60s. Still 76, that is in the sun over here, so 75 over here, 70. So we were actually able to get it down to the 60s in here, kind of the ambient temperature in here. I have it down on a lower level now, but we are also in direct sunlight, which does affect a lot of it. Most of my use for this product will be at night, where I am, I'm not in sunlight, obviously, and it's probably going to be a lot cooler. Now, if it is in the middle of the day, I can get, hours of use out of this if I really needed to, but for the most part in the daytime, I'm going to be off doing something, and I probably won't be in my tent. We're still at 4 of the little lights on the battery, so we're doing just fine. But yeah, it's been able to keep this very cool in here. It feels really nice. Now, if I really wanted to cool it down very quickly in here, I would go ahead and shut all of these off so I'm not getting a ton of sunlight in. But for the purpose of filming, I kind of have to leave those open. So my conclusion for the AC portion of this is just like the EcoFlow Wave 1. It is very efficient. This one has a slightly higher BTU, a little bit more compact, and a lot more improvements. So it's about as cool as it's gonna get in here. We're gonna go ahead and cut this on, shut the windows, and see how long it takes to get it warm in here. See how long this runs, and we'll see how long the battery actually gets depleted, because that was a big question a lot of people had about the heater. So yeah, we'll see how long it takes. I have been running this for about an hour and a half now, and it is unbearably hot in here. So I am going to open this up and try to air it out, because it is, man, like mid to high 80s in here. I went ahead and cut it off. We are at 3 lights on there, roughly at 75% or so. Now, I did not recharge it after I was using the AC, so we ran the AC for a little while, getting it down in the 60s, and then came in here and heated it up for about an hour and a half. So 75% roughly, something like that, after a few hours of use is pretty good, especially since we went from AC to heat. So in these two examples, we kind of went pretty much on the extremes. We went from 100 down to 60, and we went from about 50 to a way too hot temperature in that time as well. If you want a reasonable temperature while you're sleeping, the Wave 2 in the cooling mode can drop the compressor about 18 degrees in just 5 minutes. And if you're warming it up, you can use the 6100 BTU heating unit to raise it about 18 degrees in about 5 minutes as well. Now, I've run this product, tested it up against their 8-hour claim, just kind of running it, sitting there, and on the eco mode, you can get about 8 hours of runtime with that battery. and it works really great. And to be completely unplugged and have it last for about 8 hours is pretty wild. So they are all about capturing energy through solar, storing energy through power banks, and now they're aiming towards using energy in a smart and innovative way. They have a bunch of new stuff coming out that's really interesting. They have the Blade, which is an automated lawnmower. You may have seen this online. It has a lawn sweeper capability on it. They also came out with a Glacier, which is an all-in-one device that's a fridge, freezer, and actually the industry's first integrated ice maker. So you can charge this in 5 different ways using either AC power, solar panels, power station, off your car, or even the Wave 2 add-on battery like I've shown in this video.